Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Leanna. We have a lot to go over today, and I have broken up the video into different chapters. So if you want to skip a chapter and go to what you want to hear about, go right ahead. We're going to talk about my YouTube schedule. We're going to talk about Posh Silent Shows. I'm going to give you a sales review type thing of my January sales. We're going to talk a little bit about what the community is talking about. And we're going to talk about the Posh Canada system update announcement that they made on Wednesday. If you like this kind of thing, I do hope you enjoy it, so don't forget to subscribe. Let's hop right into it. On Wednesday, on the Posh Canada app, they did announce a system update that will be taking place next week. I'm going to pop that up here for you. You can pause the video and give it a read if you missed it. And then we're going to talk about it. Okay, so as per usual, Poshmark Canada is very unclear about what they're talking about. This whole announcement, the whole written part of it was, to me, very unclear. They talked about a few things. They talked about categorizing listings. They talked about, I'm reading it here, they talked about bulk copy listings, and they talked about encouraging sellers to use the copy listing and sharing features available on Poshmark. That to me is where the actual message is, but as usual, very unclear. I did email Posh support so I could get clarification on what it really meant. We'll get into that in a second. I do want to give kudos though to Posh Sidekick, who did address the announcement like right off the bat. They were like, "Nope, this is not going to affect you. We don't use this type of system. We don't use bulk sharing or bulk whatever." And it's more focused on the bulk part of it, which I thought was really good. I thought as a customer of them, for them to address it before, it went crazy, I thought that was really good of them. Really great customer service. So I'm happy with that. However, I want to hear the explanation from the platform. The platform is making changes, and I want to know what they are talking about. And only Poshmark can answer that for me. So I did email support. We'll get to the final email where they kind of explain themselves in a second. I emailed support. I put in a screenshot of that announcement so they would have something to go by. I asked for clarification. What does it mean? I got an email back within 24 hours, so I was happy with that. But they were like, "Oh, can you clarify what you mean? Because we don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, "Okay, how much more clear can I be? You made an announcement on Wednesday. I sent you the screenshot and you're still going, well, what are you talking about?" So not impressed with that. Again, it seems like they don't read the first initial emails. But, I took a deep breath and I responded to it and said, "You know what? I'm talking about the system update announcement that you guys put on Posh Canada, and I'm curious what it really means. What does this actually mean in plain, simple language?" And I told them that I had provided a screenshot in the previous email. Fine. So she did get back to me very quickly, which I'm happy with. So she basically, the update will make, I'm going to put it up here too again so you can pause and read it, but I'm going to read it to you. The update will mainly consist of new features allowing Poshers to categorize listings the way they'd like them shown in their closets. So maybe we will have an ability to reorganize our closets in a more bulk feature, which is really good. For example, sold listings being at the bottom of a user's feed. Okay, well, my closet is organized that way. And yeah, you know what? It is annoying to organize my closet a certain way. So if they can make that a little more efficient, that'd be great. Along with the features needed to utilize our bulk upload feature. So they're talking about bulk upload. And as far as I know, I know they have a bulk share button, and they have edit price listings and bulk offer likers and stuff like that. I do use them on occasion. I don't use them often because I have a sharing service. I use my Posh Sidekick to share and to send out offers. That's it. I don't use it to relist because it's just not what I do. So they're like, I think what's happening, and this is me thinking, I have no confirmation because I didn't get any confirmation. They want people using the features that they're providing. Makes sense, right? So, they want you to use the bulk share. They want you to use the bulk offer to likers, etc. I know that they do have a bulk listing option on your computer, but it utilizes XL, and I don't have XL on my computer. Paul has it on his, but that's his computer, and I don't want to mess with it. I don't use that feature here because of the way I list, that I like to do it, and it's efficient for me. So what it boils down to is that we still don't really know what's happening. I think they are reacting to those services that do use a bulk upload of anything, and they do exist. They are out there where you can just load up all your listings into the service, and then they will bulk list them onto whatever platform. So it could be about that. I don't utilize that kind of a system. It's just not what I do. I don't even know if we have access to anything like that here in Canada, but don't quote me because I'm not sure. So at the bottom end of it, I don't know what's going on. I think it's just about the bulk and the bulk actions on services, and it's about not utilizing Posh features. So what that means going forward for me is that, maybe I'll make a more conscious effort to use some of the features that Poshmark has given us and see if that helps with my algorithms or whatever. So that's it. That's about all I can say. If you have any thoughts on that, please let us know down below. Right now it is for Canada only. Why Canada only? I'm not sure. Again, I could maybe guess because we are a smaller market. We have less users, and to bring something new in might be less of a headache. Maybe, I don't know. But if it's starting here in Canada, it could be a trial, and they could be bringing it out into bigger markets soon enough. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, we're going to move on. January, how was my January? Okay, so January actually was really, really good for me. Last year in 2022, it was one of my better months, so I'm happy to report that it was, again, so far, one of my better months. Posh Canada was okay. Sales were up a little bit, and that was good. My Posh US closet, for some reason, just took right off and did really, really, really well. The best Posh US month I've had ever, so I'm really, really pleased with that. eBay was up as well. So why was it like that? Was it just January? Whatever. And it's like, you know what? I think my quotas and my listing system that I've been doing over the last month and a half really has helped, because I implemented a quota. This is how many a week listings I want, relistings. It's kept me accountable to what I'm doing in my business, but it's also kept me motivated to keep listing. And that listing consistency and relisting consistency, I think, has shown up in my sales. So I'm really, really happy, ecstatic with that. With talking about my quotas for February, I think I need to adjust my quotas. I was doing 40 new listings a week plus 40 relists on each platform every week. And the relists, I'm going to slow down a little bit on because of what's going on with this announcement. But the actual listings, I have to slow down again because I'm running out of room. Because with my sales, the actual number of items that got sold was down, but the average sale price was up. So, I mean, I love that. That's fantastic. But I'm not flipping over. There's not enough turnover. Like, it's not one sold and... No, it's not one brought in and two sold. It's more the other way around. Two sold and only... I'm running out of room. That's the whole point. So I do have to be more conscious of what I'm listing. So my quotas have changed. I'm going to be doing 25 new listings minimum on Posh Canada, Posh US, and I'm going to go down to 30 relists with about 10 or 15 of those being using Poshmark copy feature, just to, you know, cover my butt for the next little while to see what happens. We will see if this momentum keeps going. I think being on board and on track with my listing is really, really helping though. Okay, so that's January. Onwards and upwards. Posh Silent Shows. Okay. Yesterday I did 2 silent shows because I wanted to see what the new setup was like and just experience again. So when you go in to create a show, you can now choose between a live show and a silent show. I thought that's fantastic. And you know what, if you're a person who doesn't want to be on camera or even on the microphone, silent shows may be the way to go. Super easy to set up. You set it up like you would do normal shows. You get a thumbnail. On Canva, I use Instagram stories to create my thumbnail, and it fit really well. You pick your date, your time, your date, the sort of theme of the show, and then you choose live or silent, and that's about it. And then you go to list your items into your show. With a silent show, what they have come up with is when you have your show started and you click on the item, because you still have to be present, you still have to run the actual auction. You click on the item to start the auction. They will start, it scrolls through all the photos on your listings so that the people who are watching see at least all the photos that you have. Fantastic. I think that is a really cool thing to have happen. Now, my shows, I did 40 items in the first one. I did one at noon and I did one at 4:30. I tried my best to get the same items into my 4:30 one to make it even, but I had a bit of a glitch, which I'll talk about in a second. So I had 40 items. I wasn't expecting sales. It wasn't really the point of what I was doing. I wanted to experience the silent shows. So no sales. In my new show, in the noon hour show, I varied between 2 and 7 people in my show, which is fine. Because you know what, I didn't market the show at all, and honestly, I mean, there was a few good things in there, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm doing Lululemon or whatever. So that was fine. I found it weird that there was no engagement in the chat whatsoever. So I did put into the chat, you know, everything would be shipped Friday. Let me know if you want me to run something. I'll take requests, whatever. And I said goodbye. Because I just, it's weird to me that there's no chatter. And I think you can still use a silent show and chatter in the chat and still be sort of engaging that way. My 4:30 show was a complete bust. First of all, I scheduled it right after my noon hour show, thinking, okay, I'll just put everything in there, you know, go back and add in all the same items. And I accidentally pushed live show instead of silent. So when it started at 4:30, all of a sudden my camera's on and I'm like, no. So I had to end it and then redo it again. So it was a little bit, you know, that didn't help a lot. Anyway, I ended up only with 36 items in that show because I just couldn't find 4 of them. So it was a complete bust. Like, I think I maxed out at 4 people. People were hopping in and out, and that's fine. And there was points where it's just me, but I just ran the auctions anyway just to see what was going on. But that's okay. For me, it was a really good experiment because the silent shows are really cool. If you are shy or you don't want to be on camera or on the microphone, they are a good way to at least try this feature, which Poshmark loves. So with that in mind, I didn't sell anything in my shows at all, but it might have drove traffic to my closet because last night I had 5 sales, which for me is crazy. So I don't know what happened. I'm thinking maybe that helped. I don't know. I am going to continue trying the silent shows because I really did enjoy them. I'm not a big fan of live shows. I don't like the in your face, you know, I got to be on and I got to do this and I got to do this. And, you know, for me to watch a live show, I just find it really annoying and the music drives me nuts. And that's just a personal thing that you do you and have fun. And if you're successful, I am so happy for you. But live shows aren't for me. They're just not. I'm just not comfortable. And I mean, you may be thinking, but Leanna, you're on YouTube and you talk and whatever. It's like, yeah, but you know what? I'm talking to my camera right now, but if I make a total flub, blah, 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 I can stop the camera, take a deep breath, and do it again. And I practice. So even though I'm doing this video right now, I've already practiced parts of this video like this morning and last night so that it comes across a little more coherent. But anyway, silent shows, if you are shy or just aren't comfortable with the camera and the mic, absolutely give them a try if you can. They don't take a lot of effort because you don't have to have the items there. You know, the setup is super easy, and basically you have to be there to actually start the auctions, and that's it. So give them a try because they might actually be worth it. All right, we're getting there. Okay, we're going to talk about some of the stuff that's going on or being talked about in the community. So what's going on Instagram, and a couple of things that I've found that I want to talk about. Number one, we're at the end of the month, people talk about their sales, and I mean, that's great and wonderful and whatever. But they talk about daily sales. Oh, I missed 3 days of sales. Oh, that's terrible, blah, blah, blah. I need sales every day, sales every day. And you know what? We just had a really great month for us, and we had 4, 5, 6 days of no sales. So really and truly, daily sales are not 100% needed to have a good month. They're nice to have. Daily sales are fabulous, fantastic. They give you that reassurance that yes, the items are selling, yes, you're doing right, everything else. You get that daily reminder that, yep, you're on the right track. So I understand that they are good to have. And you know what, you should be aware, if you're having days upon days of no sales, you need to be aware and why is this happening. But you also have to keep in mind the bigger picture. So I do my numbers at the end of the month. It's just what I am comfortable doing. And if that number is good, it doesn't matter if I've missed a few days of no sales. Just saying, keep in mind the bigger number, but be aware of why you may not be getting sales. The importance, you know what I mean? Prioritize and stuff like that. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is bolos, because this is sort of a pet peeve of mine, talking about bolos. Yes, there are some brands out there that are absolute bolos for sure every single time, and you don't even have to check the comps. Paul likes to call these his blue chip bolos. He's actually let me use that term, which is really funny. So the blue chip bolos, you know, your Louis Vuittons, your Christian Louboutins, you know, things like that, where, yep, it's probably going to be a bolo no matter what, so for sure pick it up. The other kind of bolos, what Paul likes to call his bread and butter bolos, are those bolos that kind of change. They are those things that are on trend right at this moment, that's like, if you find it, fantastic, because people are looking for it right then, but 2 months from now, they may not be. These are the bolos that you need to double check your comps on, for sure. And you know what? I myself have been caught in that trap where I get brand blinded, see a brand going, oh my God, that's that brand, I got to pick it up, without doing a comp search because the style might be totally out of date or whatever. So when you hear about bolos, which is fantastic because it makes you more aware of brands that could be good for your business. So yeah, pay attention to them, but always double check them because you know what, time could have passed and you want to make sure that they're still true bolos. That's all I need to say about that. The last one I want to talk about, this was happening on Instagram, I think last week. It was people talking about having a category on Poshmark, I think it was, being a non-binary category. Which, you know what? I think is fantastic. Like unisex clothing, wear what you want, whatever. I have nothing against this. I think it's a good idea. I personally do wear men's shirts and stuff like that because they just fit nicer and they're more comfortable. The only sort of roadblock I can think of with this type of category is that sizing is so much different. So a men's size medium is much different than a woman's size medium. So there would have to be some sort of clarification in a description to get the size right. Now, as somebody who does like to wear men's shirts, I know what size of men's shirt that I need, right? So I'm assuming that if you are wearing women's clothing, you would know what size you would need, or you would look at the measurements. Because unfortunately, sizes are different and they fit the bodies different. So you just have to keep that in mind. It's a small little roadblock to this type of category, which again is not a bad idea. It's just keep that in mind about sizing. This is one of the reasons I also provide measurements all the time, because everybody's different, every body is different, and every brand has a different type of size. And of course, it's always best to pick a piece of clothing that you love, that you wear, that fits you, and measure that and compare it to what you're buying online. Okay, that's it. Number 5, the last topic we're going to talk about is YouTube. We are going to discuss my YouTube schedule and what's happening right now. So definitely I will continue to upload on Fridays. That will be a given date for sure, in stone type of thing. I find Friday videos very easy to get done, and I think it's because I have more spare time on Thursdays. So it's just easier to get done. I feel good about them, whatever. I'm having issues with Tuesdays or just being set in a certain day. And what brought this on is that on my Tuesday video about thrift store prices, I just wasn't feeling it. I was just, I got to get a video done because it's Tuesday. I've promised Tuesdays. And I just wasn't there, and I felt bad about that. So going forward, I think what's going to happen, because I like changing things up, definitely Fridays, I'm going to do 1 to 2 random videos during the rest of the week, when things come up or when I really feel the need to talk. And I'm going to do some more shorts, like little tiny ones that are actually shorts. But yeah, I think that'll work much better for my brain. And that way I think you will be getting much better quality videos. That is what I'm thinking right now. Anyway, that is it for today. This is a little bit of a longer video, which I am very proud of actually. And yeah, so that's it. I hope everybody has a fantastic week. If you do like this kind of content, please subscribe. I upload on Fridays and other times during the week. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.